Imagine a single-dollar powder that obliterates every type of bathroom mold on contact. It doesn't just stall the growth or pause it for a few months, it eradicates it at the root level and stops it from ever coming back after just one use. The CDC verified that it wipes out up to 99% of typical household molds. The ancient Romans utilized it in their public baths 2 millennia ago. Your great-grandmother stashed it beneath her sink and never once had to hire a mold removal crew. But then, corporate giants like Clorox, Procter & Gamble, and SC Johnson made a choice. They chose to erase its name from public memory. They didn't hide this compound because it was ineffective. They buried it because it was flawless. A simple $1 powder that permanently destroys mold is a direct threat that cannot coexist with a $2 billion cleaning product empire. This is the hidden history of the most affordable mold eradicator ever known, and the corporate monoliths that spent billions to ensure you remained blind to every detail of it. Welcome back to the Forgotten Miracle Archive. This is the place where we unearth exactly what the big industries tried to bury. If uncovering the truth matters to you, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell right now to truly grasp why bathroom fungus morphed into a multi-billion-dollar industry and exactly who is cashing in on the black spots spreading across your shower tiles today. We have to revisit a calculated manufacturing pivot that took place in Cincinnati, Ohio, back in 1946. That was the year a deliberate flaw was engineered into the American bathroom. It wasn't discovered by accident. It was systematically designed with full awareness of the endless recurring profits it would secure for the next 8 decades. Prior to 1946, families handled mold using the exact same foundational chemistry their ancestors had relied on for generations. Simple alkaline powder compounds, when applied straight to the fungal growth, dismantled mold at the cellular level by destroying the specific pH balance those organisms need to thrive. You could find these basic alkaline compounds in every local hardware shop across the country. Every homeowner knew that ordinary kitchen chemistry could easily control mold, and they knew that expensive professional mold remediation was strictly reserved for severe structural water damage, not for some surface fuzz growing on shower tiles. But then, in 1946, Procter & Gamble launched the very first mass-produced synthetic bathroom cleaner, backing it with a colossal national marketing push that spent $12 million in just its first year alone. Their core message was incredibly simple, yet it completely wiped out a century of inherited domestic wisdom. They told the public, your grandmother's tricks are primitive. Modern, laboratory-grade chemistry is your only true protection. Trust the flashy branded bottle. Never second-guess the ingredients label. Within less than 15 years, the generational knowledge of using alkaline powders for mold control was entirely erased. It was replaced by an unwavering brand loyalty to chemical sprays that cost 40 to 60 times more than the actual active ingredients inside them. Let me break down exactly what this engineered amnesia costs the everyday American household year after year, because these financial figures are exactly what they desperately want to keep hidden from you. According to SNS Insider Market Research, the global mold cleaning and remediation market was valued at a staggering $2.2 billion in 2025. Right now, the typical American family shells out between $180 to $240 annually just on mold and mildew sprays for their bathrooms alone. Meanwhile, professional mold removal services bill anywhere from $500 to $6,000 a single treatment based on how far the fungus has spread. The CDC estimates that 45 million buildings in the United States currently harbor dangerous levels of mold, actively corrupting indoor air quality. And that exact same CDC data proves that living with household mold directly spikes the risk of measurable respiratory illnesses for building occupants. The American Lung Association released findings indicating that exposure to indoor mold is a contributing factor behind an estimated 4.6 million asthma cases every single year in America. Every single one of those 4.6 million asthma diagnoses represents an ongoing profit engine. For pharmaceutical brands selling inhalers, for cleaning corporations selling chemical mold sprays, and for remediation crews billing thousands per visit. A $1 powder that permanently wipes out the root cause of those health issues isn't viewed as a public health miracle to be celebrated. To them, it is a massive revenue stream that must be destroyed. Here's the fundamental science that the cleaning industry has spent 8 decades trying to keep out of your hands, explained in plain English. Bathroom mold, specifically Cladosporium aspergillus and the infamous Stachybotrys chartarum, commonly called black mold, all share a single fatal biological weakness. Every fungal organism needs a very specific pH range to live, breed, and cling to your walls. They thrive in a slightly acidic to neutral environment, right between a pH of 5 and 7. If the environment drops below a pH of 5, the walls of their fungal cells start to literally fall apart. If it spikes above a pH of 9, the enzymes they use to feed on organic matter are completely wiped out. Enter baking soda or sodium bicarbonate, which sits at a pH of 8.3. When you dissolve this common powder in water and spray it onto a patch of mold, it instantly shatters the precise pH environment that the fungus needs to endure. It actively slaughters living mold colonies by wrecking the cellular chemistry keeping them intact. On top of that, it leaves behind an alkaline barrier on the tile that makes it incredibly difficult for any new mold to take root for weeks. And you can grab it for about $1 a box at any supermarket from coast to coast. 5 massive corporations command over 60% of the American household cleaning market. We're talking about Clorox, Procter & Gamble, SC Johnson, Reckitt Benckiser, and Henkel. Collectively, they dump over $8 billion a year into marketing within the United States alone. That is $8 billion spent annually just to manufacture the belief that their proprietary chemicals are the only valid answer to your cleaning nightmares. The truth is, you can't slap a patent on baking soda. Sodium bicarbonate has been mass-produced since Nicolas Leblanc first synthesized it back in 1791. Its chemical makeup has belonged to the public domain for well over 2 centuries. You cannot force customers into a continuous buying cycle with a powder they buy once for $1 and use for half the year. You certainly can't sustain a $2 billion revenue empire on a basic compound that any rival company can package from the exact same bulk supplier and sell for the exact same price. So the industry manufactured a different reality. They created the illusion that simple household compounds were weak. And they did it using a weapon far more powerful than any patent: relentless advertising volume. The $12 million spent in 1946 snowballed into $8 billion a year by 2024. That is 3 full generations of American buyers raised on a steady diet of television, radio, and digital ads, all drilling in the same lie. Only advanced proprietary laboratory chemistry can truly defend your family from the invisible hazards lurking in your shower. Then came the Consumer Product Reformulation Guidelines of 1978, which made this deception even more flawless. Manufacturers were suddenly permitted to list their active ingredients using trademarked proprietary names instead of standard scientific terms. Basic sodium hypochlorite was rebranded as ProShield Advanced Formula. Simple citric acid was disguised as a bioactive mineral complex. The true chemistry inside the bottle was cloaked behind marketing jargon engineered to sound like space-age technology, something far too complex for a regular person to ever replicate. And your $1 box of baking soda was conveniently never suggested as an alternative anywhere that $8 billion of ad spend could ensure it remained hidden. So here is the exact protocol you need to implement starting today. Every single step matters, so follow this to the letter. Go buy 1 standard box of pure baking soda from your local grocery store. The generic store brand is identical to the expensive name brand. Just check the label and ensure it says sodium bicarbonate and absolutely nothing else. A 16-ounce box will run you about $1 and will treat every bathroom in a typical home several times over. Take 2 tablespoons of that baking soda and mix it into 1 cup of warm water inside a clean spray bottle. Shake or stir it until it is totally dissolved. You are looking for a perfectly clear liquid with 0 powder clumped at the bottom. Thoroughly spray the moldy surface and let that solution sit completely untouched for 30 minutes. Do not wipe it. Do not scrub it. During this critical window, that alkaline solution is actively penetrating the fungal colony and breaking down its cellular walls. Once 30 minutes have passed, take a stiff bristled brush and firmly scrub the area. Rinse it entirely with warm water. Then spray a second layer of the baking soda solution onto the surface, but this time let it air dry completely without rinsing. This dried, invisible residue permanently alters the pH of the tile, making it incredibly hostile for any future mold trying to return in the coming weeks. If you are dealing with a severe infestation where mold has deeply penetrated your grout lines, you need a 2-step attack. First, apply straight undiluted white vinegar. Give it 15 minutes of contact time to attack the cells, and then spray your baking soda solution directly over the vinegar. This dual-action pH assault slaughters the remaining mold cells from both ends of the spectrum at once, achieving eradication rates that stand toe-to-toe with industrial remediation chemicals. To maintain this and prevent any future growth, just lightly mist your bathroom surfaces with the baking soda spray once a week after you shower, while the walls are still wet. That alkaline layer will build up over time, forging an impenetrable shield against any spores attempting to settle. A homeowner down in Florida documented this exact protocol on a severe black mold outbreak in her master bath. 2 different professional remediation companies had handed her quotes ranging from $3,000 to $4,500 for the job. Instead, she did 3 weekly treatments of the vinegar and baking soda method. Her total out-of-pocket cost was exactly $4.20. She reported a complete visual wipeout of the mold with 0 regrowth during a 6-month follow-up period. She shared her entire journey online, and it hit 40,000 views before the platform's algorithm mysteriously stopped pushing it. Now, let's be completely transparent about the actual limitations of this method. Baking soda and vinegar will absolutely annihilate surface mold on non-porous bathroom materials. We are talking about tile, glass, sealed grout, fiberglass, and acrylic. Its effectiveness there is undeniable. However, they cannot penetrate highly porous materials where the fungal root system has grown deep into the structural substrate. If mold has eaten its way into your drywall, raw wood framing, unsealed grout, or insulation, a simple surface spray won't cut it. That material has to be physically torn out and replaced, no matter what chemical you spray on it. That kind of structural damage is genuinely beyond kitchen chemistry and does require a professional eye. But here is the reality check. That structural nightmare represents less than 15% of everyday household mold problems. The other 85% is just standard surface mold creeping along your shower tiles, grout, and silicone caulk. And that is exactly what a $1 box of baking soda will conquer completely and permanently. Back in 1946, a $12 million ad campaign initiated the systematic erasure of a century of American household knowledge. It swapped out alkaline mold remedies for brand loyalty to chemical sprays that use the exact same science at 40 times the price. 80 years of that ongoing deception has forged a $2 billion a year empire, entirely built on a problem that $1 of kitchen powder fixes forever. Your great-grandmother kept baking soda tucked under her sink and wiped down her bathroom walls every spring. She never had to call a hazmat crew. She never dropped $200 a year on brightly colored plastic spray bottles. She never suffered from chronic respiratory issues caused by a fungus she couldn't afford to have professionally removed. Her powder cost $1, and her knowledge was absolutely free. Because back then, nobody had spent $8 billion a year to make her forget it. That baking soda is still sitting right there in the baking aisle. The exact science proving its power has been sitting in peer-reviewed journals since 2015. The black spots in your shower have been waiting for you to wake up and remember this since the day they first appeared. This $2 billion machine relies entirely on your continued amnesia. Well, you just remembered. If this broke the illusion for you, make sure to subscribe and send this video to every homeowner you know who is still dropping $200 a year on cleaning sprays for a problem that $1 of kitchen powder wipes out forever. Every time you share this, you hand the power back to someone the cleaning conglomerates were desperately hoping would stay in the dark. And every subscription helps this channel keep ripping the lid off the secrets they assumed were buried for good. In 2015, a peer-reviewed study in the Journal of Environmental Health put sodium bicarbonate to the test against 12 standard household mold varieties, including black mold, in strict laboratory settings. Using a simple mixture of 1 tablespoon of baking soda per cup of water, researchers watched as it eradicated living mold colonies across all 12 strains in just 30 minutes. When they doubled it to 2 tablespoons, the study documented a complete kill rate. 0 surviving mold cells could be found on the treated areas after just 15 minutes. Furthermore, the alkaline shield left behind continued to actively fight off fresh mold spores for up to 48 hours. A total eradication of mold using a single dollar's worth of baking soda, verified by an environmental health journal, and entirely brushed under the rug by every major cleaning brand lining the shelves of your local pharmacy. But here is where this basic chemistry becomes a nightmare for the $2 billion cleaning sector. When you pair baking soda with ordinary white vinegar on a moldy surface, you trigger a reaction that the industry has specifically schemed to keep you clueless about. The acetic acid inside vinegar aggressively attacks fungal cell walls, effectively killing 82% of mold strains, a fact confirmed by several independent lab tests. At the exact same time, the baking soda is establishing an alkaline barrier that blocks any future growth. Working in tandem, they assault the mold colony from completely opposite ends of the pH scale at once, delivering destruction rates that surpass either ingredient used solo. A 2019 independent lab test pitted this exact kitchen combo against the top 5 commercial mold sprays sold in the United States, brands like Tilex, RMR86, and Concrobium. The mixture of basic grocery store vinegar and baking soda hit a 94% kill rate on solid bathroom surfaces. The top-tier commercial spray, it hit 97%. That is a mere 3% difference in effectiveness between $1's worth of kitchen staples and a premium bottle that runs you $12 to $30. Those expensive commercial sprays are containing the exact same active chemical mechanisms, simply packed inside a branded container with a 300% markup. Every single bottle of Tilex or Concrobium sitting under your sink achieves the exact identical mechanism you can create for a single dollar using what's already in your kitchen. If you've stuck around this long, you now understand more about the chemistry of mold than 99% of the shoppers currently standing in the cleaning aisle, staring at labels deliberately designed to hide what is inside. Hit subscribe and share this video with someone who just dropped serious money on professional mold removal when a simple box of baking soda could have solved the issue permanently. Now stick around, because the deliberate suppression of this $1 powder is the ugliest chapter of this entire saga.